G'day, how you going? Ianapolis, your acrylic guru here from Australia. It's a cold day here in Australia, that's why I've got my long sleeves on under my coat here. It's damn cold, but anyway, how'd you go? Did you see that picture in the opening credits there? That's what we're going to do, and I'm going to use my blending brushes to get some of that mist going on there, and I'm doing this on a black canvas. I found myself a black canvas. Well, it wasn't a black canvas, it was a painting I did and I didn't really like it, so I painted black gesso over it and hence became a black canvas. Not bad, eh? Alright, and the size of the canvas is 30 centimetres by 42 centimetres, and we got the colours going up the screen there like that for you as well. There's not too many colours in this, alright? Got me coffee going. Oh, it took a while to get motivated this morning to get in here because it was cold. I knew I wanted to do some filming today and I'm in the mood to paint. I've done all my paperwork from my jobs and my head's clear, and that's what you need. Some people are telling me, have I ever lost the desire to paint? And I would never lose the desire to paint, but if you're not in the mood or you've got painter's block, you just can't paint. That's all I can say about that, eh? Anyway, wipe that coffee out, eh? That's gone. Right, so we'll get started. What are we going to do first? Well, we've got the black on there, but instead of using the black, I want to change this up a bit. So, because this is a bit dirty. I'll use me Payne's Grey and some retarder for that middle dark section there. And I'm using the 1.5 inch blending brush that I got. I'm going to use this for putting the colour on. So there's our paint. Now it's in the retarder. Retarder is a medium, everybody who's asking. It slows down the drying time of acrylic paint. Now there's my canvas there. I want the middle of this or the dark colour. See how this is more of a painted colour rather than that black gesso background was just too much like a chalkboard. So you wouldn't want a nice painting with a bit of a chalkboard centre in it. So that's why I've gone for this Payne's Grey in the middle here. Now we're going to have water down here, so we want to get all this done as well. I hope you can see the canvas outlay there. Yeah, you can. I've just had a look in the monitor. And you know what? So as I don't get any different behaviours, I might just paint the whole lot of this in, because I was going to leave the edges for where I do the white. But if it acts differently and I've got to start all over again, it does me head in. Alright, so we've got all this in, what do you call it, Payne's Grey, ready for our beautiful misty lighthouse under the moon. I might give it a mist of, it's dragging a little bit, there we go. I can feel that now pulling across the canvas, it feels good. Now I've got some titanium white and I've put some water with it because I want it to flick off my toothbrush here, give it a bit of a practice run. Okay, because we just want to get some stars in the centre of our canvas somewhere around here. So let's see if we can just, that's it. The stars are in the background. The moon is in the front of those, and then the clouds are in the front of that. So this is a simple, we've got a black canvas, it's wet and retarded, it's full of fun, and we've got our, calm down when you do your stars, you can get carried away. We've got our stars in the sky, so that was the next procedure. It was quite easy, wasn't it? It's very wet. Now I've got my white, titanium white out of the tube. I want to grab a flat brush just one like this. And I want to start making the water happen. So we're going to get some of this onto our flathead brush. Come over here a bit. Chiseling it onto the flathead brush. This is just a little simple step. Now my horizon is about here. So what I want to do, this paint is wet. I want to get at least the ripples in the water. Not too much in the middle because it's going to have fog and mist there. So I'm going to see just how this is, and then come a bit wider as I come to the front of the painting like that. And towards the back, I'm nice and tight. But I want to see, with me blending brush, how this is all going to happen. So I've got a rag. I'm getting the brush on its side because these things here are horizontal, and I want to just lightly horizontal tapping, pulling strokes into the water. And if this is too light, don't worry, we can come back with the darker colour and darken up some pockets of it, okay? Because we just want this to look like rippled water. It doesn't look like much at the moment. At the moment it's looking like a bit stupid, but let's get our horizon line on. You can see how wet that Payne's grey is. It's very wet. I want to quickly do a bit so I'm not boring the hell out of you here. Because the more work you put into this detail, see, I'm just sort of doing that. Keep them long ways horizontal. You're giving the painting a horizontal refreshment of colour and layout and look. Now I want to carefully blur the horizon line a bit more blurrier than what it is now before I just add a bit more detail to the water. Okay. Because, see, we've got the water done. I've just finished doing a lot more off camera. Now I'm going to wash that brush, rinse it, and dab it on a paper towel. And I want to pick up some more of the Payne's grey, and in the water here, just come back and where I think I might have lost some dark, stamp it back in there, because you don't want the water to, I don't know, there's a way you want it. Your artistic mind's working and it's telling you, no, lighten it up here or darken it up there. So I've just shown you how you can darken it up if you needed to. You're grabbing that blending brush again, wiping it on a rag and pushing some more darker values back into your water if you feel you need them. Alright, that's all I wanted to show you there. And your mind is doing the rest. So there's our water at night. Now, if you want to give that water a bit of crispiness, I've just washed that flathead brush again, chisel the paint onto there, and just find some pieces and randomly give them some really sharp, detailed highlights. But don't make these too fat. You just want them sort of random throughout your water and come wider apart as you come to the foreground. How's that looking? Just let me get a few more in there. And that way, it's like, you know, you see me do the clouds and you've blended the white cloud and then you've got to put some yummy crispy white bits on it. That's just what I'm doing here to the water as well. Now you're going to need a round pouncer for this next bit because we can't use the stencil. This is wet. If we put our stencil on there for the moon cutout, it'll leave all sorts of yuckiness on there. So we're going to grab some titanium white and we want to stamp up our pouncer. I probably just want mainly one side of it. There we go. And then we'll come back up to the painting there. Let's see if this is going to need more water in it or not. And probably about here we want our... So I'm going to stamp it on first to see what we're getting. Yep. So I'll give that a bit of a twist, coming off on this edge here, because now I want to get some of the Payne's grey, and I want that stamped through it. This way we're just getting a circle for the moon. Let's get rid of that unpainted middle bit there. So your finger can create textures and craters as well on here. I like the way that happened. See, that was a mistake that happened. So we're doing that. Now over here, before it dries, I'm grabbing my flathead brush because it's something I can use to shape in the lighthouse. And I'm just using the titanium white. I want it chiseled onto the fan brush, and if anything, we're putting just a simple lighthouse with a simple top on it, okay? And we can use the fan brush to get all the different features in it like that, okay? Not the fan brush, the flat brush, okay? Now we don't want to be too detailed because this is going to be covered with mist as well. So I'm using this. I want to come from about here, just from the water. So we're going to come from about here to there. So I put my marks there, and then let's say for the other side, and it's coming a bit narrower up the top, okay? So that's roughly where I want it. It's all right. This wet Payne's grey is probably going to mix with it as well, so it's not too bad of a thing. Come down here, or up here. See, the flathead brush you can use to get this done. And I want just a simple, I want to keep this simple. See, just a simple domey bit at the top, and then another bit in there. All right, and that's it. This is just a simple lighthouse. I've never done a lighthouse before. It might look like a water tank at the moment, but it's not. Now we're going to make it round looking, because this is just going to be hidden in the mist. And we'll put some distinct black pieces in it as well, just to make it more of a real lighthouse. Okay, get that a bit wider there, and we'll bring this right around there to that other line there. There we go. We've put in our layout for our lighthouse. Now I'm grabbing a smaller flathead brush, and I want to pick up some of the Payne's grey, and we'll detail the lighthouse a bit, just so it doesn't look too amateurish. So we're going to get the black around here where it needs to go. We're going to get some, we'll get a row of windows coming down where the stairwell would be, okay? So we'll get something coming down there, and you want this, stamp it on, just so, because this is going to be kind of hidden behind some of the mist as well, okay? But it's just a hint of a lighthouse there in the ocean, or on the front there. Okay, what else do we need on it? We need something maybe up here. Just some kind of hints of a lighthouse. Okay, I've finished using the Payne's grey just to put some of the darker colours back. Now we want to get the white again. on a smaller chisel flathead brush, just so we can stamp in some extra highlights again. Something down there, something maybe just across there like that, just so it's going to look like a lighthouse in the middle of the night there. We've got the moon shining on it. Alright, we have a simple lighthouse, a simple moon, simple waterfront. Going back to the titanium white, I'm going to use my hog bristle fan brush. I'll just dampen it in some water a little bit, just so it'll flow a bit better. And the good titanium white. And we'll start over here. So what I want to do is show you. So all this is going to be mist. So I'll start with the, I'm going to stamp this on like so. There's me mist coming along. I've stamped me mist on. This is where we have fun blending. I've got one of my blending brushes and I want to tap and smear and start getting this mist in front of, I want to kill down a lot of that white and tone it down and have this mist in front of everything like that. All that Payne's grey is retarded. So let's carry on. We've got to get the mist bit at a time, depending on how dry or wet your painting is. Tap, twist, tap. Try not to blend the living buggery out of your painting. And we're going to create some mist in front of everything, just like that. See what's happening? Pick up some more. We're stamping up here now. This is slowly going to wrap around. Get all that blended. Wipe your blending brush. Start hovering just a little bit over that lighthouse to sink it back with all our mist. Okay. This is where a lot of these blending brushes come in handy. If they're getting too dirty, you just put one down and pick another one up and start blending again. See what we're doing here? Now I want to make sure this looks like it's sitting on the water. So now we're going to bring a little bit just in front of it like that and blend it down over the water so it looks like it's hovering on the water as well. Try not to kill your water too much. Alright, we'll get some across the bottom of the water now. So we want to come across the water, bit at a time, wipe your rag, tap, blend, twist, tap, blend and twist. Leave some of the darks in that black. Don't make it a big solid white mist. You want it dark and light in there as well, okay? So it's looking like mist. Get a bit more along here. Try and keep the same consistency. If it's not the same consistency and if you're a very early beginner, don't panic too much. Just persevere. You'll see what you're getting out of your brush movements and where you can better it. So every painting doesn't always have to be good as the one that's you're being taught from, okay? Just remember that. You're learning as you go. We'll get a bit more up in the sky here. I'll quickly put it on. We're leaving pockets of black, not too much. We're going to slowly come past that moon. See now all this Payne's grey is wet and retarded and it lets all this misty blending happen. Wipe your brush and see how it's turning that stamped paint into night, moonlit, whatever you want to call it, mist. You twist your brush as you go. And see, we put our stars in the beginning, because if we try and do that now, they would probably end up in front of the mist and it's not quite right. You want to try and work out the proper layers for different things. I'm trying to keep black pockets in here as well. See how we can go past this moon. Want to come past there and just quickly stamp in all that corner. I want the moon showing, but it doesn't matter if we hide a lot of it. Blending this all out. And then we can probably detail the moon after we're finished this if we want to sync it back with some proper highlights or shadowy areas. Just come down there, that's what I want to do, that's it. Because I feel I would want to sharpen up, like see here I've lost that corner of the moon. I can come back later and sharpen that up, and we want to get this across the top of the water. All the condensation on this cold moonlit night, it just creates this fog overlay on the water. There's only been 2 colours in this. I don't think I'll be seeing myself using a third. It's up to you how much you want to blend. You blend till the cows come home, mate, I'm telling you. See, we can probably fix up the lighthouse a little bit as well with detail once we get detail, and I just want to sink it back a bit. See how that's going to look. Now, I'm not going to leave it. I want to really blend it and merge it in there. That's it. See, we've got a hint of a lighthouse there. I'm just grabbing the smaller flathead and I'll come back and maybe just fix that moon up a bit with my wobbly hands. And with the lighthouse, we can kind of tidy this up where we might think it needs tidying up, just behind wherever, like there, and then a bit showing through there, so it looks like the mist has come through it. It's sort of sinking behind and in front of the mist. I don't know. I'm just picking up some more titanium white and finding some areas where I can give some dimension into me mist. I'm just going to see how this looks, because I don't want it all one flat colour. Yeah, that's giving it a bit more depth. Now I'm just grabbing some of the Payne's Grey on the flathead brush, and I want to darken up some of my water here, get rid of some of the lighter bits in the foreground. So I want to just sort of put it on. I don't want to touch me mist. It's mainly lighter at this area here, but at the foreground it's coming a bit darker. I don't want too much light in the foreground here. So I'm sort of ladling it on like so. I'm going to pick up my blending brush and just pull that on its edge through the water, get the water movements going there, and I've just put some darker values back in there. Now we'll just put a bit of an autograph on here. And then we can put a frame on it and see how she looks. It's always nice to see them in a frame. And let's not forget Steve's little paw print. See how this looks on there. There we go, that's not too shabby. We've just got a simple dark ocean, the lighthouse, the moon, and some mist, night mist, just to create an art piece in this frame here, alright? Just a quick, simple project for you beginners out there. Now check out the links in the description below, because you can contact me on Facebook if you want to get some of the blending brushes I use. You can add me as a friend, you can say hello to me and all sorts of things like that. There's a link to my Patreon's page. You can support my content and become a patron as well, alright? Hope you like what I did here. If you did, tell your friends, but if you don't, tell everybody, alright? All the best, goodbye, good luck. Good on ya!